Good morning, all of you. Today we have the guest speaker, Mr. Sriram Vasudevan. So I take immense pleasure in introducing the speaker of the day. Dr. Sriram K. Vasudevan is an MTech, MBA, PhD with over 12 years of industrial and academic experience. He received his master's degree and doctorate in the field of embedded systems. He has worked with major multinational companies like Wipro and Arisen Technologies and been to USA on a technical assignment while functioning for Wipro Technologies. Presently, he is employed at Amartya Vishwa Vidyapeetham and serves as an assistant professor, Department of Computer Science and Engineering. He has authored and co-authored 32 books in various fields and is currently authoring 3 more books. He has published 105 international papers and still continues to do so. He, along with his students, had demonstrated the use of a device that binds the concept of augmented reality at human fingers and had been to San Francisco related to the project. He had been to Dubai, UAE, and has been trained by Barcode Gulf LLC on handheld devices. He is a recipient of many awards and honors, a few for you. Honored as top innovator at Intel SA and Innovator Summit 2019, held at Bengaluru from June 2019. He was awarded the top innovator for the contributions to the tech community by Intel. Honored by Smart India Hackathon 2019, first runner-up in the Stop the Bleed Hackathon 2019, winner of the Accenture Digital Hackup conducted for working professionals by Accenture, first runner-up in the NEC Hackathon conducted by Nippon Electric Company, Japan, and many more awards. Being an innovative techie himself, he not only gets updated with a new technology every now and then, but also pursues his students to put forward their ideas and supports them to enormously to get it implemented. Students being a vital backup for him, he has guided so many of them to get their ideas patented, published papers in famous journals, and do creative projects under his supervision. He believes in transferring the knowledge one has learned to another person and working with sheer hard work and dedication to achieve the ultimate goal. Dr. Sriram sir, I'm handing over the session to you. We are happy indeed to have you as a speaker for this day. Thank you, sir.
Thank you very much, man. That's a nice introduction. Thank you very much. Good morning, everybody. Let me go ahead and open my camera as well. I hope I'm visible. Good morning, everyone. Have a great day ahead, first of all. We will start our session quickly and we'll get into the core content of it. I was very impressed with the title. The title itself was pretty much connected to wearable, and I'm working on a lot of wearable technologies and a lot of wearable products. So I was pretty much naturally inducted into this topic. So I'll show you the demos of the products that I have built, as well as I'm going to talk about the role of virtual reality and augmented reality in terms of wearable technology as well. And we'll see demos for that also. So I have built a lot of products in AR side, and I'm going to show you that demos. It is going to be easy for you to understand. And one thing that I would like to clarify, even right before I start, it is not difficult to build products. It is very easy to build products. The only thing that we need to understand is to identify the problem statements is very difficult. If you identify the problem statements right, I think you can build the products easily. So all the products that we have built, all the products that my team has built is all through the problems that we have faced. So we have been facing a lot of problems every day, and we have taken those as our real challenges, and then we started constructing our products. And that's how we could build a lot of products, and we could win a lot of hackathons as well as accolades and awards. So all these are through the real-time problems that we faced every day. So the fundamental request I have for all of you is that don't search for problems from outside. Please search for problems from within. We have a lot of problems. We have a lot of challenges. Most of them are to be sorted through a wearable technology only, and we can build a lot of solutions for it. And I'll start with IoT. I'll go ahead with showing you the demos on IoT. Then I'll navigate slowly to AR, VR. I'll show you the demos there, and hopefully it will be interesting. So let's understand this way. IoT and any other technology only makes a lot of sense. IoT alone is not a great combo. IoT alone itself is not a great package, as I say. IoT must go hand in hand with AI. It must go hand in hand with the AR, VR. It must go hand in hand with data analytics. It is not one technology which we have really got a lot of focus on. It is multiple technologies that we need to rely on and we need to build on things with. So please do not have an opinion that if I know IoT, I know everything. No, we do not have a lot of scope just for IoT. We have a lot of scope when IoT combines with, when IoT gets along with other parallel technologies. And what we are going to see now is the product that we have built towards avoiding something very interesting and very phenomenal actually. You must have felt this. Some of your relatives must have had this problem, I believe. So let me know if I'm correct. There is something called as hand shivering. You must have seen that. How many of you have seen the elderly people having their hands shivered? How many of you have seen that? I need interactive sessions. Come on, please. I'm actually very interactive. I want it not to be monotonous. So please type answers or please speak out. Only then the session will have some sense. Otherwise, it will be like, yeah.
It's happening. It's visible and visualize it.
Super. So you must have seen people are not being able to hold even a water bottle in hand. Like this, I have seen my grandmother. She always has the shivering. So whenever coffee is given to her in a cup or, yeah, grandma always has that problem and grandpa even has it. If grandma is alive at 85, grandpa will definitely have. So the hand shivering always lets the people, elderly people, to spill out coffee, spill out water. At times they are not able to hold the food even. When they have the plate, the food is actually popping out, and that becomes actually very difficult for them to handle it. And coming to the younger ones, is it the problem only for the elderly ones, sir? Not at all. These problems are available, seen now with the younger ones also. Because of their habit, because of their nervousness, because of the tension and the pressure that we take up, this is also a problem which comes to younger ones. In the sense, people who drink quite frequently, the people who are getting tensed quite frequently are all the victims. They get this hand shivering. Even you and I would have had it at times, but ours is not permanent. But the people who have this as a disease has it permanently. Now I'm sharing you a screen which will let you understand the impact of what it is. It is 10 million people globally who are affected by this disease. This is called Parkinson's syndrome or hand shivering in very simple terms. This is called Parkinson syndrome. This is 10 million as of now, but it is projected that it is going to go very high. In 2009, they started seeing a spike, and 2009 onwards, this list is going very high. And in 2019, 2020, we are in right now, the list is going very high, and it is predicted that by next 10 years, it's going to be 30 million people who are going to be affected worldwide. So what we did is we built a solution called as Trembleware. What is this? Very simple. Trembleware is going to enable people to use the gloves that we are going to give you and to enable people to do their things on their own. So we are going to beat the tremor. The Parkinson disease is to be understood very clearly. It is multiple varieties of Parkinson syndromes are there, and the most important Parkinson disease definition is to be understood. It is nothing but it's a progressive nervous system disorder. It will affect your movement. It will gradually grow. It will not start in day one and your hands are not going to shiver continuously. It is a gradual growth, and one hand, one side, at one point in time, you will see a noticeable amount of tremor in your hand. So Parkinson is all about hand tremor, and the threat is this. 200 million people have been predicted in next 30 years. I told you in next 10 years, we are going to have 30 million. And in next 30 years, we are going to have 200 million people. And this is predicted. So we need definitely a solution for it. So what did we do? Very simple. We collect the signals from brain. These nerves are carrying the distorted signal, and we are going to analyze these signals through your hand shivering. Your hands are shivering like this, and we get the data of your hand shivering, and we produce a feedback. We produce a haptic response in terms for the we produce haptic response as a reply to the hand shivering. So I'll show you my video. I'll show you my screen so that I can demonstrate how exactly it will work. You can see my hand right now. My hands are shivering. So somebody, if they are clinging on to the hands like this while it is shivering, what will happen? Your hands won't shiver. You understand it, right? My hands are shivering. Somebody is holding it. So somebody gives you a hand for it not to be shivering. So how much ever your hand shivers, I understand that, and I will generate a counter frequency which can control this. I'm going to control this by clinging on to this. Sir, how are we going to do that, sir? We are going to use IoT sensors and machine learning to do this nicely, and this is achieved. I'm going to show you the results also, which you will definitely be happy to see. And this is the simple idea. Now, please understand there are a couple of solutions that are available. We are not the first in the world to do this. There are a couple of solutions which are available, and the solutions are very interesting as well. The first one was called as Parkinson's spoon. There is somebody who felt that we need support for people to eat they make their food to make them eat their food by themselves. So what did they do is they built a spoon which has got some electric circuit, and only when they hold the spoon the hands won't shiver. So it is for eating purpose, it is for making sure that the food can go inside properly. They build this, and it is not out in the market, by the way, much. The next one is called the Emma watch. There is something called as Emma watch, which was built for a particular person by name Emma. She is affected by Parkinson's syndrome, and this is not out in the market. When she wears that watch, the hand will not shiver much. So this watch is called Emma watch, and this is supported by Microsoft completely. So there is no many solutions available other than these two. These two are the major solutions, and Gyro Gear is the next solution that came up, but it is still not complete. It is still in progress. People are still working on it, and we need to provide a solution which is going to be completely different. And we have used EAP, AI, and a very interactive UI for us to get this built. We can, by sure, by far, by better way, by better analysis, we can tell you that our system is going to give you 100% stable result. And I'm going to show the way it is working. So when your hands are shivering, I get the data. Our AI analysis, our AI algorithm analyzes the data, and we provide an electrical stimuli. We provide an electrical signal which can act as a counteracting signal to completely curtail the hand shiver which is being caused right now. And the most important point is we are supported by a lot of doctors who are neurosurgeons and who are helping us out with a lot of inputs to make sure that our product doesn't create any negative impact. Because whenever you build a medical solution, it has to be seriously built with a care and concern that it is not creating any negative impact. So this is the most important point that I'd like to highlight. Please make sure that you people, when you are trying to build a solution for medicine, a solution for healthcare, that should not cause further damages. It should ease the situation and it should not cause damages. That's the most important point. I'm going to show you the demo right now. I hope this demo will be of interest for you. And once you see the demo, I'll further explain how can we go ahead and build it further and what are we doing right now. I hope the screen is visible right now. I have shared the Chrome screen. Could you see the screen, all of you?
Yes, sir.
Yes, sir.
Right. Thank you very much.
Yes, sir.
Am I audible? Am I audible?
Yes. Yes.
Yes, sir.
All right. All right. Let me go ahead and play
Yes,
the
sir.
demo right now.
We are Team Exaltus, and we are going to provide you an exciting wearable solution for controlling and curtailing the hand tremor. And what we are going to give you is nothing but a glove. A pair of gloves for you to be away from the troubles that are caused by the hand tremor is a solution. Stay tuned. We are going to explain you the complete product with the fully functional working demo for you to understand what we have done. Thank you. We are going to explain you the proof of concept and the hardware setup that we have built from the scratch towards working on the Parkinson's glove. So here you can see that this is the hardware setup that we have used, and each of the fingers are attached to the coin motor. This coin motor is in turn controlled by a microcontroller here, and we have got a gyroscope here as well as we have got Bluetooth module here. I'll explain the functionality of each and everything very neatly. Now see that this coin motors will generate the vibration based on your hand tremor. If your hand tremor is high, accordingly the vibration will be generated with this coin motors. If it is low, the frequency, the vibration would be generated for that level of hand tremor. If the hand tremor is high, vibration would be generated accordingly. If hand tremor is low, vibration would be generated for that amount of tremor. So now this data, this particular data, whatever we are getting for hand tremor, should be sent to the server for us to do processing. So how we will do it? Very simple. We have used the Bluetooth module here, and you can see that. And that Bluetooth data will be sent on to this Arduino board here, through which we are sharing it to the server. In the server, we can clearly visualize all the data which are arriving, which are acquired from this coin motor side, from this hand side, I mean the glove side. With this data, we can understand and we can even predict what is going to be the tremor level next using our
Sir, your voice is echoing. Can you do something, please?
1 second, let me see if I
Sir,
can
if
do
you
something.
if you mute your speaker, that will be okay, I think, sir.
1 second. Yeah. Just stay online 1 second.
setup are economically viable and technically very.
Is it okay now? Is it okay now? Yeah.
Strong, and most importantly, this we did not spend a lot of money there in building this setup. This is exactly replicating and emulating the real hand, and maybe we will have to use better materials whenever we are going to implement it for the end user, and we may have to customize it a little bit. But now this is sufficient for us to make you understand how exactly our glove works. The next part is going to be the complete demo of how this glove works perfectly. Stay tuned. Here you go with the complete working demo. Now what will happen is I'm going to move the hand little higher and lower, which means I'm going to simulate the tremor. Now the moment you simulate this tremor, our system will generate the counter vibration for it so as to control the tremor that is being shown in the hand, that is being triggered in the hand. Now that can be seen visually in the screen right now where the data generation happens, and one could feel it when they have it in the hand, and they can definitely feel the vibration out of this coin motors that is being generated. The system works this way. The coin motor generates the counter vibration which will eliminate and which will control the negative impact of the normal hand tremor, and that data is sent through the Bluetooth to our server, and from there, from the cloud, we visualize this data right here on the screen. One would definitely appreciate it if you have it in the hand, because you can feel the vibration. The moment you keep it here, you can understand that there is a vibration generated in each and every coin motor, and that's generated based on the original vibration, original tremor that your hand gives. Your hand gives a fundamental tremor, that tremor is observed, and we generate a counter vibration for it so as to keep you very comfortable. And this data is what you are seeing right now on the screen. It is not, the hand tremor is not there absolutely now. Now we are showing you the data for mild tremor. You can see that. Likewise, we are capturing the real-time data, and all these are very clearly done real-time. We hope you will understand this better and you will appreciate this better when you have it in your hand and feel the system. Thank you. We are going to explain the seasonal auto-regressive integrated moving average model that we have used in the deep learning part of our system. So I'm going to explain you how exactly we have worked on it. Now, the first one is the collected data, which is nothing but the observed data. Now, we are separating or alienating the trend out of the observed data, and that's the second chart that you are seeing in front of you. Then we understand the seasonal data, I mean the spikes of seasonal data for the observed data, and that's also present in front of you. Now, the residual data has to be calculated because the trend and the seasonal data together has to be subtracted from the observed data for you to understand the residual data, for you to make the learning and the process very smooth. Then, with proper smoothing and with proper processing of all the observed data, we are able to predict the tremor before it happens, which means you can see in the screen, the blue colored one are the ones which have occurred earlier, and the orange colored ones are the ones which are predicted. And we could predict the tremor most perfectly using this model. This is very simple, effective, and efficient.
How was it? Did you all understand how it worked? It was one of the very simple products that we could build with very minimal investment. This is a very minimal investment that we had to spend, and this is easy one to build. There is no rocket science, by the way. We had to measure the vibration, and we had to produce the counter vibration. That's it. For us to get the components purchased was the major thing, because you cannot have a lot of components there, and you cannot have components which are going to take a lot of power out of you. The battery constraints were there. So all these together were challenging, but still it was a bit easy for us to complete it as the team. So this is one of the products that I wanted to show today. And please make sure that whenever you are building a product for healthcare, make sure that it is properly curated, properly tuned, so that it doesn't hurt the people who are wearing it. Okay, the next one is going to be very interesting for you, I believe. I will tell you how and why we started doing this product. Let me share the screen so that you guys can see it out. I'm audible right now. Now there is no echo, right? I changed the headphone without a mic one that I'm speaking right now. There was an extended mic that caused the problem. Now there is no extended mic. Am I audible? Am I audible, all of you?
Yes, sir. Perfect.
Yes, sir. Go ahead, please.
Yes.
All right. 1 second. Just give me 1 second. I'm going to tell you a problem that we all must have thought of, but there are no many solutions available for it. I hope you are seeing the screen right now. Right. What is it? I'm going to build a wearable that is called as worker activity assessment wearable. What do you mean by that, sir? Very simple. When you go to any manufacturing industries, when you go to any industries which has got a lot of manufacturing equipment, which needs a lot of workers and laborers to be consistently working on the machines full time. They are supposed to stand next to the machine, or they are supposed to be engaged to the machine full time, and they are expected to give their fullest. But it is not always happening, and the productivity is always questionable. And the most important point that is to be remembered is the managers or the supervisors cannot go and ask them, why are you not working? And they do not have any proof to really prove them that they are not working. They can just feel that the productivity is low. So there is something which is needed here. We need technology to come and play a role, which should tell that this particular worker is working, this particular worker is working productively, this particular worker is not working. And this is a major problem. So we need to build a solution for it. There are major problems that are faced by the workers. The first problem is, are the workmen working? First thing, are they really working is to be detected. So what do? We are using accelerometer and we can predict the performance. But again, this accelerometer will give you wrong data even when they are playing shuttlecock, or when they are walking, or when they are sitting in the canteen by moving their arms up and down. So it is a problem. Now the second issue, are they working in the workspace? That's what I told you. If you give them a variable which is based on accelerometer and gyroscope, they can move out of the working space and they can still generate data. So are they working in the working space is most important to be remembered. Third point, are they wearing it or not? They can keep the wearable. There are wearables available to do it. They can keep the wearables over a machine which is moving, and that machine will keep generating data. So are they wearing it or not is the most important point. Next, one employee is there. He can wear 5 of these bands and these wearables, and he can generate data for the rest of the 4 people, and they can take turns in getting the data generated. So the point is simple. You cannot so easily monitor the employees or the laborers or the workers or technicians who are working near the machines. And we need to track them to make them understand that, to understand them if they are contributing well, and to make them understand as well that they are contributing 70%, 80% of their productivity. Also, there is another point which is very, very important to be understood, their health status. Whenever we think of extracting work from the employees, we need to also think about their health. If we can track the health status of the employees who are working nearby, we can always get their good opinion and goodwill from them. So they will work more. So if we tell them that you are not healthy right now, so stay away for some time, take rest. You are healthy right now, we can work fine. So this kind of update should also be given to them. So that's what we tried to do, and we wanted to build a system that is just a wearable solution where we should be able to get if they are working, if they are safe, if they are not giving proxy, are they efficient? All these are to be acquired, and this is to be given, and that's what we try to do. Sir, are there not solutions available, sir? There are solutions available. With helmet, we can track, but helmet cannot literally tell you that are they near a machine. Drones, when the drone is near me, I can act like working. When the drone goes away, I can say that no, I'm not working, I'm fine. So then these watches are there which are just based out of accelerometer and gyro. So they can work fine even if I'm sitting in the gym and I'm doing some exercise. So they can only detect the motion of the workers, and existing solutions have a lot of problem. So that's what we tried to do. We wanted to build a watch with magnetic field sensor. That's the first point. Whenever you talk about magnetic field sensor, the magnetic field will be higher when you are going near a machine. The magnetic field will be definitely better than the magnetic field that you are away from the machine. So that's the first point. Second thing, the temperature. The body temperature is consistently measured. Your temperature and my temperature are not the same. The heart rate, your heart rate and my heart rate are not the same. So I can now understand that if a same person is wearing 5 watches, I'll get the all the 5 watches delivering us the data of the heart rate and the temperature the same. So we can easily capture it and our data analytics can be done with that. So now all this data goes on to the Wi-Fi, we analyze it and we give you a very clear performance. And sir, is it really required, sir? Please understand, this entire product is called IMU, Inertial Measurement Unit. This is predicted that by 2022, it is going to be 21.74 billion USD market. People have already started working on it, and what we did is with 3,800 rupees. And if we can make it better, we are working on it. Actually, we have a wearable company called as Lucas Weartech. We are working on it. So when we get it out, by then already the market would have been 21.7 billion USD. So there is a lot of research which is happening in this area, and this is all supported by the facts that are being given by all the literatures that are studied. So if you see that very carefully, 37% absenteeism is there, 49% accidents happen because of the carelessness, 60% of errors and defects are also identified because of the employees' disengagement. So it is totally a problem which has to be resorted. So how are we going to solve it, sir? We are going to build a smart IMU, which is called Smart Band, Smart Inertial Measurement Unit. And I'm going to show you the fully working demo of this IMU. I hope you would love it. This is a very simple product again, but the only thing that we have done is we have to make sure that it is fully functional and it works in all the environment and all the conditions. So I'm going to show you the output of this and the fully functional demo of this right now, so that you people can realize how exactly it works. Just give me 1 second.
Here is the kit that we have read it. This is actually the wearable that we are talking about. This might look a little bigger right now. When you miniaturize it, I'm sure this will become just like your watch. Now in this kit, you've got a magnetometer here. You can see that. That will help you in understanding the magnetic field. We've got gyroscope and accelerometer here, and we've got a microcontroller unit here. And this is a very simple setup which will help you in understanding the magnetic field. When you are near the equipment or a machinery, the magnetic field will be different from then you are standing away from it. Also, the heart rate sensor is available here, and this will help you in getting the heart rate. The temperature sensor is available in the same module, which will help you in getting the temperature, the body temperature accurately. Now, how it works is very simple. The magnetic field will be helping you to understand if you are near the machine. The accelerometer and gyroscope will help you in understanding if you are working really, and if you are working by moving your hands up and down near the machine, only then it is meaningful. The system will also retrieve the temperature and the heart rate of your of the person who is wearing this. That will help us in understanding that if the person is healthy or not. Also, this can help us out in detecting the people who are trying to proxy by actually wearing multiple wearables in the same hand. If 5 wearables get you the same temperature and the same heart rate, we can easily identify that it is being faked up actually. So we are going to show you the demo right now. The system is fully functional and is working. We will show you the demo right now in front of you. We are just running the code right now. It's a Python code, whatever we have written. So when it is run here, we have got the X, Y, Z of the accelerometer. At the same time, we've got the heartbeat here, and this is the temperature of the person who is wearing it. And you can see that the last one is the magnetic intensity. This is all captured real time, and this is what is helping us out in analyzing if the person is working, if the person is working near the equipment, if the person is healthy. Thank you. Friends, I'm going to demonstrate the way the application that we have developed is going to work. You can see that we have just launched the app. It will ask you for the username and password. Once it is typed perfectly, you will be taken into the system. And the system has got the details of the workers who are allotted to the particular manager. Worker 1, when I click, I'll get the complete details about the worker whom we are tracking. You can see that we have got charts here. First, the gyros data is available. You can see that it's all getting updated. the gyro data is available, the magnetic intensity is available, pulse rate, which means the heart rate, and temperature. All the four are plotted in this graph. But is this sufficient? No, we want to have a numeric which says that how much percentage did the worker contribute to the team. So I'm going to show you that, and we have got a complete analysis of the worker as well here. We can see that the worker has worked 30%, 70% he has worked, where 30% he has not worked. Also, his body temperature is normal and his heart rate is normal. This will help us in understanding or evaluating the overall performance of the employee. Thank you.
How was it? Was it nice? Was it good? Did you like it? This can help us out in understanding if an employee is contributing or not. That's it. Also, we could tell him that, see boss, you are unhealthy, make sure that you be healthy and you take care of your health. All these are done with real-time IoT and real-time data analytics. The next one probably Arun Kumar would have seen. I don't know if he has seen. Rest of you might not have. So I'm going to talk about a traffic solution that we have built, and it is a very interesting solution. Most of you would acknowledge me saying that, yes, sir, I also do this. This should not be done. So I'm going to talk about one scenario which most of us could be doing. If you are not doing it well, I'm happy about it. If not, please don't do it. In India, accidents are on the rise, and multiple accidents have been reported. Thanks to lockdown, during the lockdown, the accident count has come down. But now, since it is open, we could see that a lot of accidents are still happening. And I'll show you what exactly is the wearable solution that we have built towards curtailing this accident. This is a wearable solution, right? By 2019, the data is taken from Deccan Chronicle website. Also, this is confirmed with multiple other resources that are available to confirm the number of accidents that are happening in the country. It is 1.3 million accidents which are reported in the country due to mobile usage. Please remember, it is 1.3 million accidents. It's a huge count. It's a very huge count. And out of them, if you see, at least 20% would be fatalities, and 30 to 40% would be injured permanently, and only 30% people get a chance to recover, and that too, they need to spend a lot of time and money. And sir, why is this happening, sir? People, if I ask you a question, you can answer me honestly. How many of you, let's make it interactive as I told you, how many of you use mobile phone while driving? Anybody here who says that, no sir, I don't touch at all, I'm not lifting phone at all during driving, I'll follow rules? Is there anybody who says so that I am not going to use mobile phone at all? If you say so, yeah, I'm very happy about it. It's a great thing. Keep continuing that. There are many people who use that, right? Good. Dr. Vel Murugan says he won't use. Very good. But you have seen people using it. Have you seen people using it? In your eyes, are you not seeing at all? I hope that you have seen that, right? People are seeing that, and still people are using. We are educated and we avoid using it. But people who are literally, even educated people use this. There is no classification as educated or uneducated here. People use it. That's the problem. The point is, why do we use it? The question is that, why do we use it? If I ask you why you use it, our warning won't work, that's the problem. They will understand only when they fall and only when their spinal cord breaks. And when their L3 or L4 gets congested, they will understand how much painful it is, and they won't touch the phone till their death while driving. So now the point is, we started analyzing why do they really use it. Some people say that we did a lot of research on it. I'll tell you. The first point that they say is, sir, there was an emergency call, sir, I had to attend. These people do not understand that only when you attend the call, it will become an emergency for themselves. But it's a sad solution. Second thing that they always say is, sir, I want to find the route. Somebody has messaged that to seek the low congestion route. I want to find out, I want to use the Google Maps to reach the right destination at the right time, sir. This is the point that most of them convey you, right? And the another very important aspect of it, let me tell you that, and you will agree to it for sure. If you see that the guys who deliver the pizza, burger, the Zomato, Swiggy boys, all these people are the poorest people in the world. I'm telling you, they are seriously people who have to be pitied at. They have to deliver food within a specific time frame. If they are not delivering the food within the specific time frame, their salary is cut, their incentive is cut. In Pizza Corner or Domino's Pizza or any pizza seller, if you see, they advertise this way. You must have been aware of this. Our pizza reaches you within 40 minutes. If it is 1 minute late, you get the pizza for free. How many of you have seen this message? Our pizza reaches you in 40 minutes. We are faster. So what happens is very simple. These drivers, the guys who deliver pizza, they take a lot of risk and they drive harsh. They do not have time to stop in between to check with the auto drivers. Like we are normally doing that, right? We will check with auto drivers. We'll check with the taxi wala. Sir, where do we go? How do we go? This kind of questions we normally ask. But these guys do not have time. So what do? Is they just take it out. They quickly want to deliver it because their incentives will be cut. So what do? Is very simple. They end up meeting with accidents. So last year, if you see, it is 6.5 billion UK pounds which have been lost in delayed food delivery globally. 6.5 billion UK pounds. So which means that it is partially taken by the guys who deliver it and partially managed by the guys who manufacture the food. So what is the solution you are talking about, sir? Very nice solution, sir. We are having a simple problem. The problem is you are taking the mobile phone out when you are driving. I have to avoid it. How do I do it? We will create a solution which will avoid and restrict you from taking the mobile phone out. That's it. How do you do that, sir? We built a pair of gloves. The gloves are powered by microcontrollers. The gloves have got OLEDs installed on it and clearly connected. The gloves will show you the direction. If you have to go left, the left glove will flicker. If you have to go right, the right LED will flicker. All the directions that Google gives you are all supported here clearly in our application, and our application is very simple. If you have to go to the left, which is available after 50 meters, the flickering rate will be slow. If you have to go to the left or right, which is below 50 meters, the flickering rate will be fast. Sir, how does it work, sir? Very simple. I'll give you an Android app and a pair of gloves. You take the Android app, set the source and destination. Immediately, it will be paired with the glove. All the map data will come from the mobile through the geolocation API, directions API from Google, and they will be pushed onto the glove, and the glove will start indicating you the direction. Whatever direction Google supports you, we can support you all that. Google now has got 3 or 4 modes of using the map. One is walking, second one is driving, third one is biking, fourth one is in the highways. I think car mode is there. So all those modes can be implemented as well. So when there is no internet, what will you do? When there is no internet in map, what will you do? You download it and you keep it offline. Same options are available for us also. Download and keep it offline, it will work. Sir, if I keep seeing this, what will happen, sir? It will cause accident. No. Yes, very good question. I accept to that. So we have got a small vibrator module. That vibrator module will let you understand that there is a change in direction. Sir, can you show the demo? Yes, I'm going to do that. And the demo is very interesting. I hope you will be happy to see it. And this is awarded by Rakuten, which is Japan's Amazon. Rakuten is #1 company in Japan. We got the first prize in Rakuten contest. We also have been awarded by NEC, Nippon Electric Corporation. We have been awarded by Titan Industries. That's the most reputed award that I feel that I've got for my product engineering solutions. And I'll show you the demo right now. It has got 2 parts to it. The first part is to tell you how exactly our application works. And the second part is how exactly the entire app works. I mean, the entire solution works. We have got an app which has to be given to you. We have got a product which has to be given to you. So both are to be demonstrated. And I'm going to show you that. As Mr. Meenakshi Sundaram conveyed, they are just not killing themselves. They are also killing others. That's the point. So we will see the demo right now for the app. It is the internal working. Then we will understand how the entire product works.
Hello all. I'm going to explain you how exactly our app feeds the direction inputs to the glove. You can see that we are testing it with TUL 25, which means turn left 25. The left LED flickers right now in the left glove, and it flickers at a faster rate, which lets you know that the turn that you are going to take is much nearer to you. When it is above 50, the flickering rate will be much more slower. Now I am going to test if it is working fine for the right LED with TUR 25. You can see that the right LED is flickering and the flickering rate is faster than usual. Now we are going to send it with TUL 75, which means turn left 75 meters. Since it is above 50 meters, the flickering is much slower than the past. It gives you time to breathe, and then you can drive slow to reach the next left or right accordingly. If you have to go straight, both the LEDs will flicker, and that's what you are going to see now. And we have given the str command, which is nothing but straight. Now you can see that both the LEDs are flickering. That's how the app feeds input to the glove.
This is a very simple understanding for the app functioning. Now we will understand how do we really get the entire system working. That's more important. So I'm going to show you the complete demo of how our system works. And it's recorded in Bangalore roads. We have tested this in Bombay, Bangalore, Coimbatore. We tested in all the places, congested places. It's all working fine. And I'm very happy to show you this.
Here you go with a complete demonstration of our product and the app that we have developed. First, set the source and destination. The source is a nearby place, whereas the destination is the same building that we are in right now. After selecting the mode as walking or driving or biking, we need to now pair our gloves with the mobile phone for getting the updates. Once it is done, it is all set to go and the gloves will be intimated with the updates through the LED flickering that you are seeing in front of you. Both the LEDs are flickering right now, which shows that you need to head straight. Both the LEDs when flicker, it is an intimation for the rider to go straight. The next update will come to you as and when it is available in the app that we have developed. And you can see that now it is intimating you to look for the next left, but the flickering is at a very slow rate, which means that you have got a distance of above 50 meters to reach the next left. As and when the distance becomes less than 50 meters, you get the LED flickering much more faster, which is an intimation for the rider to be cautious about the next very much available left to drive onto the roads. And now the flickering is faster, which means that the next left is very close and you will have to be careful about the driving. Once we cross that left, we should be getting the next update and we got to wait for that. Let us wait until then. Now we have taken the left and we will get the next update right now, which is indicating us to look for a right turn. And the LED flickering is at a much slower rate, which means that we have got the distance greater than 50 meters. The driver can relax and have a breathe. Now, when the flickering goes faster, it is an intimation that the immediate right, whatever is available, could be the right that he needs to take. Now, you can see that the flickering has gone faster, which means that we have a right that we need to go in right now available in front of you. One very important thing to convey here is all these updates come really real time. Now we are into the right, so we will get the next update now to reach the building. The left LED is flickering and it is telling you that you can ride slow because the distance to be covered is above 50. And the left LED is an indication for you to be taking the next available left, which will head you to this office, which is nothing but the destination. And we are right now heading towards the main roads where exactly this office is located. Now you can see the main road. We are heading into it. The destination is available in the left and we are almost on. We are walking towards the office building and once we reach the office, that's all, our navigation is done. We have used it safer, wiser and we obeyed all the traffic rules properly. This is the smart navigation glove for you. Thank you.
How was it, friends? No, it will not distract. No, we will have to practice everything. So see, this is an innovation. So it will take time. So it might really take some amount of time for all of us to understand how it works. But once we are used to this, we should be okay with that. I have shown this demo to somebody by name Mr. Shibulal, who is the co-founder of Infosys. He was very happy seeing the demo and he gave me a suggestion. Now it is also implemented. He gave me a suggestion saying, Sriram, this is a very nice product. But in India, if you see, people forget that there is something called as indicator. Most of us do not use indicator is what he said. And I had to close my eyes and accept that fact. Because if you see, most of us forget to use the indicators. And we have to predict if the previous guy is going to use indicator now or not. So he said that the system can be automated and in such a way that the indication should also be given as an auto indication using the system. Now it is also done. We have connected the same thing to the indicators, and once you set the source and destination, automatically indicators will work on itself and it's going to be easy. It's all easy, I'm telling you. It's not difficult at all and it's all pretty easy. And the entire product we have spent somewhere close to 1,500 rupees or maximum 1,500, 1,700 rupees to really build this, and it was pretty easy for us to build it also. So you can try it out. You can, if you have any solutions which are probably to be connected with this kind of products that we have built, and we can do that. Yes, we can use this for car, we can use this for anything, and this can even be used for people who are new to a city who want to walk on the roads. because I do not have I do not have any help required right now to walk in a city. And all of you can reserve your questions or type the questions in the chat box. I'll answer the question once the session is over. By 10:50, I will break it so that we'll have a question answer session for about 10 minutes, and I'll answer all your questions. I hope that is okay with all of you, so that I can show you more. I don't want to break in between. I'll show you more. The next one is going to be a very interesting solution, which is called ErgoWare. What is it, sir? Most of you must have felt it. I do not know if some of you have back pain. Is there anybody here who has back pain or neck pain? Anybody? I get some company here. Nobody has got back pain. My God. Thank you, Meenakshi Sundaram. Great. I have got a company right now. Anybody else? Wow, Smita Vinod. Yeah, great. There are a lot of people who say they have got back pain and neck pain. I thought I am alone and aloof with this back pain problem. Yeah, good. So do you know why the back pain comes for all of us? The main problem is we are sitting in the same position without moving for a long time. Do you agree? The doctors first say that please keep moving. Be mobile. Our body is not meant to be sitting in the same place for a longer time. It has to be mobilized. You need to move. Since we are seeing the laptop like our head getting glued to it completely, like Fevicol being pasted on the face of us and the laptop's face, we are actually bending so much and we are actually glued to the screen. This has to be avoided. If somebody tells you, somebody watches you and somebody tells you that, see Sriram, you are sitting in the same place for 10 minutes, move a little bit here and there, we will definitely do that, right? So there is somebody who has to tell that, but nobody tells us. And we have automated it and we have got a solution right now through Alexa. You know Alexa, right? Amazon. So we have used that and we have automated the entire process, and it will tell you based on the position that you are sitting. Sriram, sit straight for some time. Sriram, don't bend so much. It's good to bend, but don't bend so much kind of statements will come. And I'm going to show you the demo, and I hope this demo is going to be very helpful for you. Now we have made it as a wearable in terms of belt. I've got a belt which is connected to an Alexa, and the belt will keep me vibrating also. So whenever I'm sitting for a long time, it will give me a vibration so that I'll understand that I'm not moving and I'm totally immobilized. So we'll see the demo of it so that you can understand how exactly this system works. I hope the session is interesting. Is it interesting? Am I boring? Is it boring or interesting? It's going
Pretty
good.
interesting, sir. Pretty interesting.
Interesting, sir.
Thank you very much. So we will go ahead with the demo right now, after which I'm going to show you something phenomenal in augmented reality and virtual reality. I hope you will like it. After this demo, I'm heading straight away there. It's the next stop for us.
ErgoWare is a complete solution for ergonomics. We're proposing this solution as a part of the Alexa Skill Wizard Challenge. So to quickly give you a briefing of what ergonomics is, it is the idea or study of designing environments and workspaces in such a way that the risk to the human body, risk or injuries to human body is as minimum as possible. Considering that today's working professionals are very ambitious and they want to stay on top of their goals and deadlines constantly, it's very natural that they tend to forget about their health. Despite emerging technologies like smart bands and fitness trackers, there are small things that we tend to forget, like good postures that end up having a long-term effect to our health. So it can be as simple as using a computer, phone, writing, driving, walking. Things like postures for these cases we're very aware of it since like our childhood. But giving into our demands of everyday work, we are forced to forget about them. So that's exactly what this particular idea will try to address. So the whole architecture is as follows. The idea is to make use of positioning sensors in our day-to-day accessories like spectacles and belts for both men or women. So the controller that we've used is an ESP32. It's inbuilt with an accelerometer. So this accelerometer will read a user's positioning data throughout the day, and the controller will push this data to our storage, which is basically DynamoDB. And DynamoDB will enable the Lambda function to constantly make use of this data and try to generate insights with any kind of insights like an average score for the user, or what is it that he's doing wrong. Is he looking down too much? Is he looking up too much? Things like this. And that in turn will power our Alexa voice service, our skill, to give back the user some kind of daily insights. So that's how the whole architecture would work. Let's take a look at the demo quickly, which would give you a better understanding of the whole workflow. Ergonomics.
Hey, I have your ergo scores for vision. Your recent score is 88 on 100. Your overall score is 87 on 100.
What is my score today?
Your ergo vision score for the day so far is 88 on 100.
What is my overall score?
Your grand total for ergo vision score is 87 on 100.
Am I safe?
Great ergonomics. A little more care would take you to the top.
How do I improve?
Hey, why is that you keep staring at the sky? Stop looking up too often. Look straight.
The value in the database reflect a lower average. So as you can see, each of these data point is comprised of two values, one being the epoch timestamp at which the sensor pushed the data, and the second half being the value itself. So the value here, like 78, 80 or 30, it is the y-coordinate that the sensor pushes to our database. So ideally the y-coordinate value when you look straight has to be 100. So if you are looking down, then the y-coordinate value is less than 100, and if you're looking up, it's greater than 100. So this rate of difference is what we're trying to reflect in the averages, that is the total score or the today's score that we're giving in the skills. So now I've changed the database to give a lower average. So let's see how our intents perform. Am I safe?
Uh-oh. I don't see good stats here. You have to buckle up and get your ergonomic score up.
How do I improve?
Hey, I understand that you're a humble person, but no need to keep your head down all the time. Tell me, is it that stupid phone of yours?
Stop.
Thank you for trying the Alexa Skills Kit sample. Have a nice day.
How was it? Did you like it? Somebody will keep telling you that you are sitting proper, your ergonomic score for the day is poor. So you will be cautious. So it is like when something happens in front of you and somebody keeps you alerting about that, I think we will do things better. Let's get into something called as virtual reality and augmented reality. I'm going to show you all these are wearables. All these are 100% wearables. And we are actually in a different world right now in terms of the augmented reality and the virtual reality, and I'm pretty hopeful that you guys will enjoy this as well. I'm going to show you first. I'm going to first tell you what did we do. Right, it's very simple. I had a couple of students by name Meenakshi Sundaram and Santosh, and these people are very ambitious, and I'm their mentor. This happened in 2014. Believe me, in 2014 in India, 99% of the techies were unaware of how to build augmented reality or virtual reality solutions. I'm sure about it. In 2014, it was not that terms that augmented reality and virtual reality came into picture. We all know is what is called as graphics. That's all. We are all familiar with graphics, but we did not know what is AR, VR. Now, by 2014, these two guys under me, they were my students whom I have to mentor. Their scores were a little low, and I had to talk to them. So I took them to a movie, and the movie was Iron Man. And after the movie was over, when we had a discussion during our dinner, chumma discussion, it was not a meaningful discussion, by the way. One of these guys asked me, "Sir, can we build something like what Iron Man does?" I was like, "Come on, what are we saying?" Iron Man does something, sir. I want to do something like that. So what do you mean by that? The question was again asked by me, and I asked them, what do you mean by that? Then they said that, sir, see, Iron Man is using his hand gestures to pull something, to do something, to move here and there. And it was all done by complete gestures. Can we build something like that? Can we build something like that was the question. So I told them, see, guys, don't be over ambitious. Now you got to go home, and I kicked them back to home. Now, but after a couple of days, after a real couple of days, these guys came back to me and they asked me, sir, I have got some knowledge now on what it is. Can we do that? Then what is happened is history. I'll show you the screen right now, what I'm talking about, so that you can understand what we are doing or what we wanted to do. You can see that here, This is called augmented reality. The data, whatever is available, the screens, whatever is available, is all virtual. It is not available in front, but this guy will access. This is what the motivation that we have got, and this motivation has taken us to a long way. And now we have got startup by name GetView, which is doing very well. So it is all about building solutions which are to be very interactive and which are to act real time. So all these are done, and this was something that we really built with a lot of effort and hard work. And I'll tell you what we built. We have used a simple headset, a 3D built headset, and inside that we have kept our smartphone. We have used a sensor called as leap motion sensor. This leap motion sensor will be capable of understanding all your gestures. We train the system with our machine learning and deep learning stuff, and the input will come from that sensors into the phone, and the phone will give you a reply back. It is one of the most revolutionary stuff, and we are the first in the world. We are the first in the world to build augmented reality headset, and we participated. We are the only team in the Asia to participate in 2014 augmented reality leap accelerator contest, and we have won the prize also. We have got $25,000 as the seed money, and we have also got $1 lakh as investment to build our product further. And I'm going to show you whatever I have built right from here. Let's share the screen. I'll show you the demo. Wearable has gone to a different level right now. The wearable computing is being taken to a total different level, and you will understand this very clearly. Now you can see that I am keeping my phone inside the headset that I have built, and you can see that there is something flashy on the surface there. You can see that this is the sensor. This is called the leap motion sensor. We have filed a patent request for interfacing this sensor with the Android phone. We are the first to do that in the world. So we have now interfaced it. We have developed the application, and this headset has to be worn, and you can wear it. And you can see that now the phone screen will look like a 51-inch TV for you, and that's what is going to take you through the virtual world. Now, when you wear this headset, this is how it will look like. You can see what is happening in the background, I mean in the outside world, through the camera. You can feed the input to the system through the sensor. I repeat, you can know what is happening outside through the camera of the mobile phone, so you are not disconnected. But at the same time, you can give input to the system through the gestures. That's what we have done, and you see what has happened. You can see that in the left-hand side, there are two movie boxes there. Can you see that? There are two movie boxes. I'm moving my mouse pointer over there. 1, 2. Now see what happens. I am dragging and dropping it. That's all the Iron Man movie came. Now it is all virtual. You can move the screen anywhere you want. This 100% wearable again. Move it wherever you want. Turn your head and come back. The previous screen will still wait. You can launch as many applications as you want. Like if you want to launch 10 applications, one side Gmail, another side Facebook, another side your official work, another side a movie, another side sports, you turn wherever, whichever angle you fix, that will stay there. This is called augmented reality. We have built this, and we are the first in the world, as I told you, to do it. And I hope you understood what we have done. This is called augmented reality and wearable computing. Now, sir, where is this used, sir? Where do we have use for this? Are you really making sense? Yes, I'm going to show you where exactly we are using it. I'll take one by one. I'll show you all the demos that we have built. Teaching the aeronautical engineering or teaching mechanical engineering is something very difficult, because you do not have a lot of facilities available. If somebody asks you how a Sukhoi flight works, you may not show them really in the lab, because we do not have it. But see what I have done. Now I'm wearing the headset. I am now showing it. You will get everything in front of you in 3D models. That is called augmented reality. I can now show how the engine works, how exactly things go. This is a Ferrari. I can never buy a Ferrari in my life, but I can bring it digitally into the space. Now I can park this Ferrari in the parking space alongside the original Ferraris which are available there, original cars which are available there. You can see that I have parked it now. Original car is here, the digital content is here, and this makes the teaching, this makes the interaction much more easier. I'll show you one more thing which you will be very happy to see. All these are, again, it comes with a lot of hard work. It really was one of the toughest things that I have done in my entire career with my children and the team. It was in fact life-threatening for us to come back safe out from there. It was so many days we stayed so late, and we did not have enough of facilities also. Our money was running out. We did not have sufficient money to handle as well. All these were biggest challenges, but the challenges paid off well. So my request to the teachers out here is, please sit with your children. There's not a advice, please don't take it that way. Please listen to your children if they have something innovative. That day had I missed it, this would have been lost. I just listened to them and I sat with them. Now there is a product in hand, now there is a company in hand for us. Now see that, how many of you are from biology background in your +2? How many of you are from biology background? Anybody here? All of you are computer science graduates? Meenakshi Sundaram. Okay, I'll ask you a question, Mr. Meenakshi Sundaram. There is a topic called as human reproductive system in biology, correct? Right? So this human reproductive system cannot be taught by any teacher nicely. Am I right? It is one of the toughest topics for any teacher, particularly if it is a lady. She might not be very comfortable in our country to teach it. Right? Even we are not comfortable. Students will not be comfortable. It's a topic because we are not seeing it as a lesson and we see it as something else. So what I built is, what I wanted to do is, we wanted to make this learning very easy and everything should be taught. And if there are some cultural reservations, see, I cannot talk about human reproductive system in the class. That's fine. Let's create an app and let it talk. That's what we are doing right now. And I'm going to share the screen which I have built. The app is built. You see that I'm launching a human brain. Now, like that, you can launch a human reproductive system and it will start telling about what it is. Now I can rotate this. I can move it up and down. I can understand what is cerebellum, what is cerebrum. Everything can be understood. Now I'm going to drag and drop a skeleton. Now you can see that the skeleton can be rotated. Now the kids can understand exactly what is it. Instead of you showing them with a picture, you show them interactively. Let them pull the spinal cord out and understand how many bones are there, how many lumbar breaks are there. All this can be understood clearly, and this is done real time. This is all done real time, and this is working fine. This is a perfect way where we can teach even the most complex things in a much easier way. Now, technology is all about what I feel. Technology is all about bringing things to an easier space than making it much more complex. We should not complicate. Now, see that another thing that I have built here. This is a simple system. Most of you are teachers here, I believe. So tell me, how many of you have got favorite teachers and how many of you are influenced by teachers? I am a teacher today because of my teacher by name Murugesh and Ranbu. They are the people who really tuned me, and they are the ones who created me as a teacher. So everyone will have a teacher, right, who is very favorite. There are teachers who are very favorite for us. So we would have felt right during some exams, if a teacher comes and sits next to us, and then if they teach us, it will be easy for us. Yes, that's exactly what I wanted to do. Every teacher here gives notes. We give notes, and each page of the notes has got some diagram. Now what will happen is, every day class will be recorded, and we have an app given, and in that app, you need to just scan the picture. You need to just scan the picture that is available in the notes. Immediately that day's class session will be available for you as a video. So this is like the teacher coming to you home, and then the teacher is teaching you even at home. I'll show you how exactly it works. This is all again through augmented reality and virtual reality. See that I'm having a paper, I'm scanning it. The moment I scan it, now, if you have seen that, I have just scanned the paper and every image has been mapped perfectly to a video, and the video has been updated. The video can be updated by the teacher every day, and it can be a class session, it can be an interview question session, it can be something, and the student can take the paper and walk also. You can see that the student can walk, the student can just use it like reading a paper, but only he will see what is available over there. You can see that now.
Shriram sir, we can't see anything actually.
Oh my God, I have to share it again. I'll do that. Can you see that now?
No sir, just started sharing.
Okay, now I'll tell you what I did. I have a paper. When you scan the image in the paper, you get a video embedded on it, and that video is nothing but the session that the teacher has taken. The paper can be lifted, you can move around with the paper, the video will stay right there. And this is an innovation in teaching. See that.
Networking is the word people use when they're talking about connecting computers together so they can share data with each other and all connect to the internet at the same time. Let's take a closer look at the key components that make up a simple, easy to set up network. Think of a network as something similar to your body's central nervous system. At the top of the network is a brain that handles all the traffic coming through. This is called a router. The brain is connected to a spine that sends signals throughout your network.
How was it? You can send the teacher back home with every student every day. It's pretty easy. So this is the kind of innovation that we are working on. The wearable computing is going to a different level with augmented and virtual reality. One final demo I would like to show you before I open the session for discussion. With a wearable, with a spectacle, whatever we have built, you can visualize how exactly a real estate business could transform. I'm going to show you the way the real estate business can transform with our solution that we have built. I will play the video and you can understand it yourself, and there is no need for me to give a voiceover even because it's all already available there. And you can see that with the spectacles when I wear, I can visualize how my building is going to be. What are all the features that the building is going to have? I'm going to show you that right now.
Hello. We can see the demo of our system that we have built with virtual reality. Surya Builders is shown right in the entry for the visitor, the likely customer who is visiting our community. This is a gated community, and you can see the way we have designed the compound walls. The bricks are also designed so nicely and so realistic. Now the walking tracks are shown for you. All these are very good, very realistic, and the customer would certainly like to walk in this virtual reality experience. Now we are giving you the view of the entire gated community right here, which is being shown in front of you. All the villas are designed similarly because to get the feel of the gated community. We are showing you the tennis court right now, and now we are taking you through the basketball court. See the way we have designed the compound walls for this basketball and tennis ball court. It is all very nicely designed, and care has been taken that it looks very good and realistic. Now we are collecting the granules and the sand particles for making sure that this pavement even looks as realistic as it has to be. Now we are showing you the lawns where chairs are designed, and this will give the customer the complete understanding of how big and how good the lawns would be. From the lawns, the view of the entire community is also presented along with even the car parking. Now you get the complete 360-degree view of the community that we have designed. The chairs, including the nuts and bolts in the chairs, have been taken care of because to give the customer the 100% feel about the real property. Now we are getting you through the community hall where we have play area for the children also, and including all the play equipment there, we are displaying it right now. We can even have children there along with some notice boards if you want us to keep so. Now, the time has come for the customer to visit our house. We have designed a house and we are going to take you through the house step by step. It starts with the hall and it ends with the terrace. We have designed each and everything in the house very carefully and artistically. You will feel it right now. The entrance is here and you can see the hall with the sofa along with lights in the top. We have got the dining table, and next step is we are getting you through the hall where we have kept the fridge, and now it is kitchen where we have got the stoves available for you along with wash basin. All these are designed realistically, and the colors of the wall, the equipment or the components over there can also be changed based on the requirement. Along you through the bathroom, along with the hanger, we have designed it, and the wall color can also be changed. Now we are taking you through the steps, and this leads you to the master bedroom. The master bedroom is designed right here, and including the night lamps we have designed it. We can even switch it off to show how exactly it looks during the night. Now the master bedroom's bathroom is shown right now in front of you. We are taking you out of this master bedroom to the secondary bedroom right now, where you can see the bed color, the blanket color, everything is differently presented here. We can change it as per the requirement. Now we are presenting you the balcony view, where the customer will get a complete feel and look of how it looks like from the balcony. We are walking back right now, and we are heading to the hall where we have sofas, and there is a view through the glass door which is presented right now in front of you, and now we are taking you back to the next level. Now you can see that we have stairs, and we can give the feel to the customer with even the stair climbing noise or volume there as well. Now we have shown you the terrace where we have even the Tata Sky dish over there. So all these are very realistic, and we hope the customers like it as well as get a complete immersive experience about our property.
How was it? Was it good? So you can now promise your customer what you can deliver, and they can see it. If they want some modifications, say they do not want this floor in this color, they want another floor in another color. This kind of confusions always happen when it comes to building, right? So people normally tend to lose interest also. So we have built a solution for that. Now I can take up questions. Do you have any questions? I am typing my YouTube channel details. I have taught a lot of these stuff online. So you can go ahead and see that there as well. And this is my channel name. You can drop me an email if you have any clarifications. I'll be more than happy to tell you and to help you. Right, the sensor used for AR VR is called as leap motion sensor. Nowadays, you do not require that sensor because we have got multiple cameras available in our phone itself. In that days when we started, it was just one camera. And now we have the sensors, the cameras available in a phone itself. There are multiple cameras. In fact, in the back side, if you turn, it is only full of cameras. So you do not require any camera as such, right? So it is called a leap motion sensor. So you can buy that. And yeah, any other questions? I want to answer questions quick, because any session without questions might not be good to go with. There were some questions. Yeah, I already answered that question. Can the indicator concept be implemented in car? Yes, it can be implemented. Sir, how to start working in this field? Please guide. Right. The first thing that you need to understand is augmented and virtual reality is coming with two very important things. One is 3D modeling. You need to know how to model things in 3D. So for that, there are softwares available, and you can learn Blender. Blender is one of the softwares which is available in the market, which you can learn. It's a freeware you can download and you can start learning. And Unity. Unity is very important for us to learn. And with Unity, you can build solutions for augmented and virtual reality. But again, this takes a lot of time. So do not be in a hurry. Go slow. It will need at least about 6 months time frame for you to build a very good app with AR and VR. So please take your time and learn it completely. Then probably you will be very happy on getting your product implemented. Any other question? Any other question, friends?
Sir, good morning. This is Meenakshi Shanmugam.
Good morning.
Sir, I couldn't type. Sorry, I'm just asking, sir. Sir, you were suggesting the gloves for the destination, to find the destination address by
Correct.
indicators rather by picking the phone and speaking by the the pizza delivery boys.
Correct.
Sir, my question is, see, my house is located in a location such that from the north till to some 1 kilometer, 2 kilometers, the persons cannot be able to come to my home, sir. But literally, they have to call me and I have to give the exact location and they have to come. I face this situation every day whenever I order something in online. Okay. Right. So because my address has not been updated in the GPS properly, that's a problem. And we are 142 houses in a block. So what I feel is, from the way you were telling, I got an idea, like if any mobile phones or any voice calling modules is installed within the gloves, then is it possible to install like that, so that it may automatically call, a recorded voice may automatically call and I may update the address? And
right.
from my
I agree to your point, and it's already well thought of actually. So we have considered that. But let me tell you something. In India, if you use any voice assistance during driving, it is a punishable offense.
Oh, okay.
There is a law which says that you cannot use that.
If your gloves itself, if your gloves itself can recognize my voice recognition and give the signal accordingly.
You are not supposed to use voice at all during driving. Voice-based assistance is punishable.
I'm communicating to the gloves only. No.
No. That can distract people is the point. Voice has to be avoided. But what can be done is, I'll tell you what is the solution. This is a good point. There is a solution. Whenever these kind of addresses are coming, which are little complicated for the people to reach, those kind of addresses can be given with a special request. Whenever you send itself, there can be a previous recorded route. The previously traveled people can be referred with, that data can be acquired, and that data can be fed into this so that this can give you an alert. Instead of the light flickering in a regular pattern, it can show them that this is a complex route, so please look into it carefully. So we can alert them through some means instead of having a voice-based recommendation system. Anyways, I'll think about it and I can find out if there are any solutions available other than the traditional way of handling it. If I get any, I'll update you. Maybe you can drop me an email at this point.
Yeah, I'll be in touch, sir. Thank you, sir.
Yeah, please drop me an email, okay? I've already typed my email ID. I can help you out.
Sure, sir.
Yeah, thank you, ma'am. Any other question?
Yeah, we have a few questions on the chat box.
Yeah. I'm looking into it, ma'am. Is the software related to machine or deep learning? Which software? The question is not complete. Assistant Professor EC, Welltech, Chennai. Sir, please complete the question, sir. Sir, integration of Google Maps with gloves, how did we do? Android. We have to develop an Android app, right? So we can call all those APIs so we can integrate it easily. To go for AR, VR in such a large project, what programming language we need to go? C#. Please tell us the learning technique and technology or any programming we should consider. It is not one programming or one technology that we use. We need to grow step by step, but I recommend you to learn 3D building and I recommend you to learn Unity. It's going to be very useful. Blender is not for machine learning or deep learning. Blender is for 3D designing. It's for 3D modeling. Nirlab Joshi, a wonderful session, sir. Thank you very much, Mr. Nirlab. How can we validate the data? That's a very good question. How can we validate the data received from IoT devices? There is something called as mapping. So what do? Is we collect a lot of data in the previous attempts and we make sure that we have a threshold. So if our received data is not in line with the previously available data, which is historical data, then we can map it. For example, when you take the color sensor data or an accelerometer data, it won't be proper. So we need to tune it accordingly and then we'll have to map it to the right data. So that's what we do. We do mapping. Without mapping, it won't work. That's a good question, Amuda ma'am. That's a very good question indeed. Yeah, any other questions? Good, I get a lot of questions. I'm very happy. And about 150 people are there and I'm very happy. Totally, there are 196 participants who have joined and now it is 151 people. I have got the stats recorded here. I'm very happy to have a lot of people interacting with me. So I'm very happy. So please go to the channel and check it up if you need any help. If at all you need any help, suggestion, inputs, I'm more than happy to help you. If you drop me an email, I'll be sharing my thoughts also. So over to the organizers.
Yes.
Gomati ma'am.
Yes, I'm here, sir. So thank you, sir. Thank you so much for this informative session. And participants, the next session also will be handled by Sriram, sir. We will take a break now and by 11:30, we'll again join for sir's session. Sir, is that okay?
Perfect, ma'am.
Yeah. So thank you, participants. Join on time by 11:30 so that we will not miss any of the informations that is being shared by Sriram, sir. So thank you and good day. So thank you, sir. See you by 11:30.
Thank you, ma'am. Thank you, ma'am. Thank you very much, ma'am. Thank you all. Bye-bye.